I stood here about 18 months ago sharing about a restlessness that I'd been feeling, that kind of restlessness that comes when you know God's up to something, when you know He's trying to get your attention. Church was going brilliantly well, or at least that's how it seemed. We were full on a Sunday. There were more children than young people than we'd had for many years. So much energy and effort was going into all the programs and everything was happening. But yet I was restless. It was like God was on my case about something. And as I began to reflect and take time to consider what it might be that He was prodding and provoking me about, there was one thing that haunted me. For all the effort, and there was loads of effort, for all the sacrifice, and there was tons of that as well, we weren't actually seeing people come to Christ. We couldn't go on like that. For all our gatherings, for all that we were enjoying, we desperately need to see people come to Christ. So I found myself asking the question, what would Jesus do? WWJD, you know, the wristbands that we've been encouraged to wear. What would Jesus do? Well, I guess the biggest clue is to see and look afresh at what Jesus did. Jesus spent a lot of His time developing people. Our tendency might be to spend a lot of our time developing programs. This was a huge challenge for someone that leads a church and thinks about all the programs a church needs to be successful. Jesus also spent a lot of time with the 12, allowing them to be really close to Him, that they might watch what He did, that they might help Him with what He did, and then they might go and do what He also had been doing. This was another huge challenge about allowing people close enough for them to learn, not just by giving them information, but by being able to imitate our lives. And then another thing, as I thought afresh about the life of Jesus, was the way that He would spend a lot of time with people outside the faith. He would go to them. He would spend time on their patch, in their space, in their community. And all of these things began to create a fresh picture of the kind of mission that Jesus would have us engaged in. So following all of that thinking and exploring, you may remember I had a sabbatical and came back and started to talk and share all of these things with the trustees and the ministry team. And then we had a very special day as a church called Launch the Lifeboats, just some 15 months ago, where we began to reimagine what God might be asking of us. It's been a fantastic journey these last 15 months. God has done immeasurably more perhaps than we could ever have imagined. 7 missional communities, 2 more about to be launched, and so much more missional thinking and new fresh expressions of discipleship taking place in our church. It's been really exciting. And so we'd like to press the pause button once more. On Rescue will be a special day when we'll stop again to pause, to think, to reflect, to listen to God, to see all that He has been doing, to dream about all that He wants to continue to do, that we might be on rescue together, that we might launch lifeboats, that we might see people rescued, that we might see the kingdom of God come afresh in these days. So on Rescue, do join us.